Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. In today's episode, we are continuing the coverage of Eliza Fletcher. Young lady, Memphis teacher, goes on a jog early in the morning and is never seen alive again. They have arrested someone. He has been charged with murder. 4 days later, they finally identify a deceased body in the vicinity of where Cleotha was, where his brother lives. This is one of the most tragic cases that you can come across. Seriously, it's as ugly as it can possibly get. And so Eliza goes on this morning jog, and then she is seen being abducted into this black GMC terrain. And again, Cleotha Abston, 38 years old, has been charged with this heinous crime. And what will ultimately happen, we do not know at this time. But video surveillance has been captured with him cleaning out his vehicle. Check this out. You can see him driving the GMC, and then moments later, you can see him in the back of his GMC there, cleaning it out. There he is walking with some stuff, and he even seems like he's in a bit of a hurry. And that's exactly what I mean. Like, this guy did not have much time to do all of this. And this is why in my head, I'm thinking they're going to find her really soon. He did not have much time on this. I don't know if he thought about it much long on what he was going to do after the fact, but this friggin' fool did not think this through. And I'm kind of glad he didn't, because at the end of the day, we don't want this freaking dude getting away with this stuff, right? And so these are the heartbreaking things that now the family has to deal with. The heartbreak, the why, and then I see a lot of people on Twitter and different things. Oh, well, you shouldn't go jogging at 4:30 in the morning. No, actually, his dumb butt should be a little more of a human being. She should be able to go jogging early morning. And people say, well, what about the fact that she's at 4:30 in the morning in Memphis, Tennessee? Well, by all accounts, this is supposed to be a neighborhood. Did you see what happened in Chicago, Illinois? In broad daylight, while a woman was walking in million-dollar area homes, she was brutally attacked by 3 individuals, broad daylight, while she was attacked and mugged. They took her wallet. They took her phone. This is my point. People are saying, well, 4:30 in the morning, who should be jogging at 4:30 in the morning? No, the fact is she should be able to go jog at 4:30 in the morning. She just doesn't need to be taken from this world because she chooses to go jogging at 4:30 in the morning. And so then we have this ugly video, where he's captured and she is found not far from there. And so how were cops able to find her body? What led them to her body? Because we later find out that, hey, it wasn't too far at all to where she was. So it was actually not far at all. So there was a smell of a decomposing body that led a police search and rescue team to discover her body. And this is where it gets ugly as well, because it's so friggin' sad. My question is, why did it take so long when they were doing all this research? It took 4 days to find her? Or was it 3 days they identified her on the 4th day? But it should not take that long to find her. At least that's my thought process. Should have been a little more of an option or a little more of a quick find, I would think, because he didn't have much time to even think of this. Here's a news article from, let me see if I can't fix this a little bit. Here's a news article from the New York from the New York Post. And you can see all of the locations. Eliza Fletcher leaves her house at 1544 Carr Avenue for her morning run. She's then abducted while jogging near 3876 Central Avenue. And then surveillance video allegedly captured Cleotha Abston cleaning out his SUV at 1765 South Orland Street, which is not far from where she was found. And then you had Abston was arrested at his home at 5781 Waterstone Oakway. And then you have where Fletcher's remains were found at 1666 Victor Street, not far from an abandoned school. And then a trash bag holding Fletcher's shorts were discovered 100 feet north of 1591 South Orland Street. And they would find her Lululemon shorts. They would find her top. I mean, this is as heartbreaking as it gets. And then you see these Champion slides that were left at the scene. Police say that DNA on this pair of Champion slides were left at the scene, and the DNA was linked to Cleotha Abston. And truth is, I didn't know that they can get DNA. I mean, I knew they can get DNA pretty fast. What I didn't know was how fast they can find a link. I thought normally when you try to go through a database, it could take a little bit. It did not take long at all for them to do that. And so that's where it's like, okay, that was pretty fast. How come we can't do things like that a little more on a regular basis on finding things that fast, right? And so he has had his first court appearance, and it was interesting because her body was found on Labor Day in the U.S., and right before his court appearance on Tuesday morning, they ID'd the body as Eliza. Now, granted, when all of the news started coming out, it was almost pretty obvious that it was going to be her. By where they found it, by all the hunting they was doing. I still wonder why it took that many days to find her, though. I mean, I don't know. I'm not judging. I'm not saying anything. Just curiosity has me wondering, like, in my mind, I'm not the professional detective. I would think it shouldn't take long. You all knew he did not go far. Why did it take 4 days to figure that out? And that's the part I don't understand. Make sure I'm not missing anything there. And so that's the part I don't understand, is how they did not find her much faster. And so her family did release some statements after her body was found. They did break their silence. And of course, they're destroyed by the discovery of this wonderful, wonderful teacher. By all accounts, she was so loved by people. And this heinous man. And so they are trying to wonder, like, okay, I mean, how can we help prevent this from other people, from this happening? Because truth is, even as a neighbor said, a neighbor of Mario, his brother, even the neighbor was like, this could have been anyone going for a jog. This just shouldn't happen. And so the family did release a statement on here. And the first thing they wanted to make sure was they want people to focus on how special the teacher and mom of two was. And they said, "We are heartbroken and devastated by this senseless loss. Liza was such a joy to so many. Her family, friends, colleagues, students, parents, members of her Second Presbyterian Church congregation, and everyone who knew her," the family shared in a statement. And they also said, "Now it's time to remember and celebrate how special she was and to support those who cared so much for her." And Fletcher, only 34 years old. This is where she's so young. And so police confirmed on Tuesday that the body that was discovered in Memphis on Monday of Labor Day was indeed Fletcher's. And they slapped her alleged kidnapper Cleotha Abston with additional charges of first-degree murder and first-degree murder in perpetration of kidnapping. And officers searching for the mom had found the body at 5:07 p.m. Monday. This was more than 36 hours after Abston was charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. And if you remember yesterday when I shared, especially aggravated kidnapping is he basically used a weapon and threatened her to get his way. And Abston, who already served the 20 years in prison for a violent kidnapping, he was refusing to reveal where Fletcher was. And so they just kept searching and searching and searching. And I'm going to tell you, I got to give the credit to the law enforcement. They were tirelessly searching and doing their job. And Fletcher's family, they even say, "We appreciate all the expressions of love and concern we have received. We are grateful beyond measure to local, state, and federal law enforcement for their tireless efforts to find Liza and to bring justice to the person responsible for this horrible crime." Fletcher, she was the heiress to the billion-dollar Orgel Inc. hardware fortune. Her mom is the daughter of the owner, the founder, who passed away in 2018, I believe. And so he passed away, yeah, I think 2018, something like that. And so even St. Mary's Episcopal School, where she taught, they even paid a little tribute. They expressed their condolences. They said, "We are," let's see. They said that "we are heartbroken for the loss of our beloved teacher, colleague, and friend, Eliza Fletcher. Hearts are with the Fletcher, Orgel, and Welford families. This is what makes this so heartbroken in every single way." And you know, when news broke about there's so many people that are coming in that looks like maybe there's going to be a break in this thing, in this crime. And so everyone was glued to their TVs and the news and Twitter, wanting to know, did they find anything? Then they come to find out, yes, they did find a deceased female body. And that's where it's so heartbreaking. And so even the suspect's uncle chimed in on this heinous act. And his uncle, he says that his whole effing family's wacky. And the uncle, he says he's convinced his nephew was involved in abducting the Tennessee heiress. And that he also says that "I'm 100% sure he had something to do with her abduction." And so he also says, "Can I prove it? No." Isaac, the uncle, who married into the family, he spoke out before a body was found in the hunt for Fletcher. And so he was saying this even before that her body was found, that, hey, I am not surprised if he has something to do with this. And the uncle, he tried to distance himself from the clan because he wanted nothing to do with this. And he says, my whole effing family's wacky. They always have been. They're not beloved to me because they're nuts. It's the truth. Go check the police records for the Abstons. You'll find they're all perpetrators of something. He noted that Abston's younger brother, Mario Abston, who was arrested during this search, but unrelated to anything to do with Eliza Fletcher. It was more for having drugs and other things and the possession of a firearm. And so police have stressed those charges, including allegations that he was manufacturing and selling fentanyl and heroin, but was not tied to Fletcher's kidnapping. And he said he had little interaction with the accused kidnapper, this is the uncle, but knew enough to suspect his involvement in the monstrous crime. And he says, I believe that he probably did it, but I have no proof. And really, you really should have proof if you're going to start suspecting, right? Me, what am I doing? I want to share what people are sharing, basically. That's a big part of what I'm trying to do with this whole ordeal. And so when I'm creating this content, I'm not being 100% perfect. I'm trying to be as accurate as I can with what is there, right? That's what we should do. I'm not a member of the media, but I definitely want to try to be as accurate as possible with all of this crime, with all of this. And so the uncle also continues to say that, his mom, she says they're on their own. Mario, Cleotha, they're on their own. They're grown kids. They're going to have to deal with this on their own. And she said the biggest thing that she's upset about is all the media attention she's getting. She doesn't want to be in the media. This is their kids doing. This is on them. They're old enough to deal with this on their own. That's exactly what she's saying. I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. And so this is a big deal as to what they're finding throughout of this. So you got to think about that when you're even following this story, right? And so I'm live at the moment because as you know, I don't really do many lives on this channel. I started out doing all lives, but one of the reasons I don't really do lives is because you're gathering a lot of information, and the last thing you'll want if you're following this is a bunch of pausing while I'm looking for stuff. That's why I don't do a lot of that. I try to have everything there, and so thank you if you're a follower of this channel. And please, if you're not, I won't be offended if you subscribe, right? My goal is to keep you updated on what could go wrong in this crazy world that we live in. And so I wanted to share something here. Where are we at? See, and this is the prime example of what I had this thing ready, and now I'm like, did I close it by mistake or what? So they showed some images of where she was found and the actual spot that she was found in. I'm trying to find it and I'm struggling to find it. And so, okay, here we go. This looks like a little something here. You see, this is the exact thing that I'm talking about. Daily Mail shared this. Let's throw it on the screen here. And so you can see here, forgive the advertisings on the side, this is where the cops discovered the missing mother of two in long grass close to where her Lululemon running shorts were found in a trash bag. And she was discovered lying unresponsive in long grass next to an abandoned property. And this is after the discovery of the car, this is the first statement that the family had made. As you can see, this is Cleotha when he was released. Looks like he might have been on a Zoom. And this is where Memphis police officers shown close to the scenes where Fletcher's body was found. And this is when they all started coming in and people were like, oh boy, there might be a new development. And you can see a neighbor here who got footage through her window when they went into his residence to capture him. And so this is where he is seen cleaning his car. Giving out those things, though they always have ads. Another reason why I don't like to do a lot of these things in advance. So another take on that video surveillance that was released. This is not what I was showing you earlier, but this is the same footage where you can see him doing his due. Now, you already saw all that earlier, so I'm not going to spend another minute so on that. But little close-ups on this. He's appeared in court, and as soon as there, he was charged. He said, I cannot afford an attorney, and so one would be appointed to him. That still was not what I was looking for, but you still have a little idea of where she was found in the abandoned home. And this is where it's sad. And so you think about it, here we go. There it is. It was on Fox News that was sharing the images. Let's see if see if I can open this up real quick. And so right here, this is an image from Fox News Digital. This is where they found her. Rest in peace, Eliza. Taken from this world way too soon. And we only can wait to see what will come about of it. We really don't know. She didn't deserve this. No one deserves this heinous crime. And these are the type of reasons why I do this. Because we have to be careful and alert and on go ready all the time. So as you're out there today, my friends, and then sometimes I can't even get out of these. When you're out there, be alert, be careful, look at what's going on around you, be extra safe. You never know what can go wrong. In a flip of a switch, something could go wrong. I'm Manny Rodriguez, my friends. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for following. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if this is the type of content you like to follow. I look forward to serving you again. My friends, be safe out there. Till next time, take care. Peace.